Scorpio, you are up for the November General Tarot Energy Reading. Before I go any further, KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. Okay, so this is the general reading for November. There will be a love reading for November that I will hopefully do next weekend. There will be a money reading as well the following weekend after that, more than likely. Since November is considered Scorpio season, Scorpio, you will receive an additional reading for every single one that I do. So you will receive an additional general reading, an additional love reading, and an additional money reading for the month of November. So yeah, this is your general. I'll do your bonus after this one. So yeah, all right, pre-shuffle energy. One thing that I was picking up is that, first of all, change is coming. And there's going to be happiness coming in. However, I feel like some of you are still looking back at the past, or you're kind of still stuck in the past. And one of the things that you're thinking about more than likely, and this is based off of the pre-shuffle energy, again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it's not your story, don't try to make it fit. One of the things that came out in the pre-shuffle energy is that you are regretting somebody that you met. And the energy was, everything happens for a reason. It's almost like, there was this quote I heard a while ago by Omarosa. And it was something like, no man is my friend, no man is my enemy, every man is my teacher. And long story short, what's it saying is that everything is a learning experience. So if you're sitting looking back over something as you're starting on your new journey, and you're like, why did I even deal with this person? What did I see in this person? Or why did I take this job and deal with these crazy coworkers, or this or that? The reason that it happened is because something had to be learned. And I can promise you, on this new journey that you're starting with the change and the happiness and everything else, there will still be stuff on that journey that will test you. And you're going to look back as you go through those tests in the future, and you will see that some of the experiences you had in the past, some of those why did I deal with that person experiences, that knowledge gained from those experiences will help you in the test on this journey now. And you're going to look back and you're going to be like, oh, that's why it happened that way. So now I know how to handle this. So yeah, don't do your best not to be stuck in that energy. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. I'm using multiple decks today. This should not be that long. KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is on a gazillion platforms. You know the spiel. Also, KIRWKC on the social media platforms. All right. May I have the energy for Scorpio for November? May I have the energy of Scorpio for November? What is it that Scorpio needs to hear? What is it that Scorpio needs to hear? May I have the energy of Scorpio for November? What is it that Scorpio needs to hear? May I have a card, please? Thank you. All right. So the card that I received is a quote by Steve Jobs. That's my quotes deck that I'm using. It says, if you're working on something that you really care about, you don't have to be pushed, the vision pulls you. If you're working on something that you really care about, you don't have to be pushed, the vision pulls you. And that is a quote by Steve Jobs. All right, let me take something from the Oracle deck. See what we get. Energy for Scorpio for November. Energy for Scorpio for November. Energy for Scorpio for November. What is it that Scorpio needs to hear? What is it that Scorpio needs to hear? What is it that Scorpio needs to hear? May I have a card, please? That's too many. May I have a card, please? Thank you. I like that. Purification. Purification. So, yeah, this is where I feel like something is being washed off you. Whatever negative energy you were in, or what these people were trying to drag you into, or this person, you're being purified. And you're doing the purification. I mean, obviously you have help from the divine and everything else. But this is more of a choice. You're making the choice not to associate with toxic energy anymore. You're being purified. And the thing about this is that stands out to me is the flower is a sunflower. So that goes back to the happiness that I was talking about, because the sun in the tarot deck is happiness. It's the happiest card in the deck is the sun. And with this sunflower, this just makes me think about the happiness energy that came out in the pre-shuffle. And this happiness is happening because you're going through a purification process. You're removing what doesn't serve you. You're allowing yourself to be happy. Because I'm hearing that too. You're allowing yourself to be happy. Maybe there was a time that you didn't allow yourself to be happy because your bandwidth was thin, and it was more of your bandwidth was focused on the things that were not working in your life at the time. Now you're focusing on the things that are working in your life. It's just a new mindset. All right, let's take a few cards here as well. Somebody might be thinking about starting their own business, especially with that Steve Jobs quote. Some of you might be thinking about starting your own business. That might be where the happiness has come from. You can finally work for yourself. But anyways, let me pull a few tarot cards right quick. May I have the energy for Scorpio for November? Energy for Scorpio for November. Energy for Scorpio for November. What is it that Scorpio needs to hear? What is it that Scorpio needs to hear? What is it that Scorpio needs to hear? May I have some cards, please? Thank you. May I have some more cards, please? I don't know why. It's something that I'm sort of picking up the energy on. There may be something, thank you. And you know what? That just confirmed it. That is what I was thinking. For some of you, there's going to be something that happens in your life where it's going to be so big, you're going to feel like you can't wrap your arms around it. You know how they have like those huge stuffed animals and people can't even get their arms around it? I feel like there is a blessing. What's at the bottom? Yeah. Judgment's at the bottom of the deck. So I feel there's a blessing that's coming. And especially, you know, that's interesting. With Judgment at the bottom of the deck and then the Purification card, I feel like this is a new lease on life. Like you are a new person. But going back to what I was talking about earlier, I feel something's going to be so big, I don't think you're going to be able to process it. If that makes sense. Like you can't wrap your arms around it because it's almost like, I'm trying to think, what is a good example? Okay. Let's say, I'm just making this up. Let's say you go to Best Buy and you're going to do some shopping. While you're at Best Buy, there's a big sale on flat screen TVs. Like there's a huge sale. A sale so good that you can't pass up. And you know that if you leave, someone else might get it and they may sell out. So you decide to get this flat screen TV. Mind you, the car you brought with you can't fit the flat screen TV in it because it's too big. But when you went to Best Buy, you were going just to do some regular shopping, but you happened to come across this huge sale. And now, because you're there, it's like, wait a second, I have this, but I don't think I can fit it in my car. That's kind of how I feel. That's kind of how I feel with something good that's going to happen, where it's like, wait a minute, what am I going to do with all this? So that's the energy I'm getting. I'm just saying. Okay, let's see what we have here. King of Swords. King of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles came out in the reverse. But this is the thing. This came out as the final card. The Ten of Pentacles. In the upright. So, with the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, for some of you, I feel like there may have been a divorce. Just saying. If there was a divorce, you're going to be okay. Now, another thing that I'm picking up is that this Queen of Pentacles reverse was your old energy. Now that this purification is happening, this Queen of Pentacles, their energy is being set in the upright. And don't forget, anything the Queen of Pentacles touch turns to gold. Once your energy is refocused and restarted and balanced out, that's what this will lead to. And that's what I'm getting. I feel that some of you may have been dealing with a Gemini. Doesn't have to be a Gemini, but I feel that may have been the case for some of you. Could have been an air sign that you were dealing with, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But now, that individual, whether it be a family member, lover, co-worker, whatever relationship it is, I feel like you may have been dealing with an air sign. Now that you're separating yourself from their energy and you're doing the purification process, this is what it's going to bring in. That's what it's bringing in, is the Ten of Pentacles. So yeah, and again, I feel like some of you will be doing something with the job. But with the Judgment card at the bottom of the deck, that's also telling me that some of you are receiving a second chance, like a new lease on life. For others of you, the judgment may be that you called judgment on whatever the situation was, and you decided to purify yourself of that situation. All right, so that is your message. KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. Till next time, be blessed.